From putting the franchise under a massive spotlight to making it a household name for millions of people, there's no denying that the new D&D film has the potential to be huge. In fact, I think that Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves could change the franchise forever. First, there was the OGL license leak, which was like a fireball exploding in the community, stirring up all kinds of debate and controversy. Then the Legend of Vox Machina got fans buzzing like a swarm of excited kobolds, and now with the release of Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves on the horizon, the game is about to embark on an epic quest to rewrite the rules. Is it going to blaze a trail of success like a dragon breathing fire, or will it fizzle out like a wand of magic missiles that has run out of charges? The future of this classic tabletop game is as uncertain as a goblin's hygiene, and anything could happen. But one thing is for sure, the game's popularity is going to increase a ton. Let's take a trip down memory lane and explore the past of Dungeons & Dragons. I mean, the game has been around longer than most of our parents, so it's got quite the story to tell. Back in the 80s, Dungeons & Dragons was in the hot seat. I'm talking hotter than a red dragon's breath. The Satanic Panic era had the mainstream media up in arms, painting the game as a one-way ticket to the underworld. But let me tell you, just like a resilient adventurer, the game didn't back down. Fast forward to now, and Dungeons & Dragons is more popular than ever. The game's popularity surged in the early 2010s. This happened with the introduction of the beloved 5th edition and the rise of popular creators like Critical Role and Dimension 20. They brought the game to a wider audience than ever before, and it seems that the film is going to continue on that trend even more. It's impossible to predict to just what extent it will, but a massive blockbuster film much like this one is sure to bring in thousands of new people to the game, and that's not all. The franchise recently made a leap from media to mainstream. You know what they say, what happens in Stranger Things doesn't always stay in Stranger Things. After the release of Season 4, Dungeons & Dragons made a comeback, featuring heavily in the show and quickly becoming the talk of the town. The game that was once considered a niche pastime has since become a full-blown sensation, with every new book, episode, and conversation only serving to increase its popularity. Even shows like Critical Role have helped catapult the game into the spotlight. This caused it to infiltrate the gaming world and the film and TV industry alike. And let's not forget the animated series, Legend of Vox Machina. This show proved to the world that Dungeons & Dragons can be just as exciting to watch as it is to play. It showcased the game's vast potential, allowing for epic battles and heartfelt emotions, all wrapped up in a magical world of monsters and mayhem. But it isn't all sunshine and rainbows. In recent weeks, the game has hit a rough patch. The release of the Open Game License 1.0 saw fans from all walks of life contributing to the game's lore. Creators were given free rein to promote their own worlds with their own characters. It was a free-for-all, allowing players to be anything from a mystical spellcaster to a wise turtle musician. Talk about endless possibilities. A leaked update to the OGL has caused a massive uproar, with fans outraged by the more restrictive license. The game is causing chaos and leading to mass unsubscribing. All this just a few weeks before the release of one of the biggest Dungeons & Dragons movies to hit theaters worldwide. Despite being such a large phenomenon, could this change end up thwarting its success? Or it's possible that Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves may actually be a huge turning point.
No, that wasn't for you. Did that count as a question?
Yes.
Damn it. Only answer when I talk to you, okay?
Yes.
Why did you say okay at the end of that?
I didn't.
This film has a lot on its plate. It's got big-name actors, a promising storyline, and a background that's mostly true to the books. Let's assume the movie knocks it out of the park. This will open the door for thousands of people who've never even heard of D&D to come and play this game of imagination. It's going to bring more people into the TTRPG world. It would promote creativity and teamwork as they work together to solve puzzles, fight battles, and live their lives as fictional characters. If Honor Among Thieves hits it big, the whole world will have a better understanding of what Dungeons & Dragons is all about, and honestly, that's something we can all appreciate. However, let's not forget that we've seen our fair share of video game movies that have flopped in the past. I'm talking about Assassin's Creed or the old D&D movies. So there's a chance that the film might not do so well, leaving fans and critics alike feeling unimpressed. But even if the movie doesn't work out, D&D has a bright future ahead of it with the upcoming release of the One D&D version. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with this upcoming film. All that means is that Dungeons & Dragons is definitely going to swim through some hazy seas currently, and so its future may actually be more uncertain than you think. Cue the dramatic music. The fate of Dungeons & Dragons is at a crossroads, and there are only two paths it can take. The first path leads to a future where the upcoming movie Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves is a massive success. A hit movie could create a wave of new fans who will talk about it for years to come. It could also spark conversations about the game across various media platforms. This newfound popularity could introduce thousands of new players to the game, from beginners to seasoned veterans, even with the release of the new edition, One D&D.
And Brandon spent weeks planning this campaign, and your bullshit on night one where you stole that carriage threw all of his plans right out the window.
It's all right, Sarah. It's all right, really. I mean,
Players would stick around because they love the game so much. But hold on, adventurer. There's another path, and it's not a good one. If the movie flops, the future of Dungeons & Dragons could be in jeopardy. Fans are already frustrated with the changes to the OGL 1.1 license, and many are searching for other TTRPGs to play. With the game's future so uncertain, an unsuccessful movie could be the final nail in the coffin. Dungeons & Dragons could tumble into a pit of no return, and it would take decades to climb out of it. It's an uncertain future, but one thing is for sure. Dungeons & Dragons has never been at a stage like this before. Everything is up in the air, and the stakes have never been higher. Will the new movie be the game's saving grace, or will it be the final blow? Only time will tell, so when exactly is the film coming out? The much-awaited movie Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves is set to hit theaters in March 2023. While you wait, new details about the film are being revealed. Originally slated to go head-to-head with Creed 3 on March 3rd, 2023, the film was pushed back to March 31st, 2023. This was done to avoid a box office clash, a date that was previously reserved for Scream 6. At 2 hours and 14 minutes, the film promises to be a thrilling and exciting watch, keeping you on the edge of your seat. And if that's not enough to get you excited, the world premiere of the movie will take place at the 2023 South by Southwest Film Festival in March 2023. I guess I know where I'll be that day. This is it for all the things about Honor Among Thieves that can make the game popular again.